Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hartford Whalers expansion franchise on NHL 24. Last episode, we won 4-2 against the Chicago Blackhawks as Patrick Kane and the Whalers were victors on the road against the Blackhawks, and Patrick Kane's return there. And as I said at the end of last episode, this episode is going to be all simming, at least a majority of it. We're going to sim 10 games here as we advance here in this regular season. So we'll get right into. Actually, no, I always forget. I want to show just the lines we're going to be working with for this episode, or at least to start the episode. We actually moved Victor Arvidsson up on the top line with Kane and Comfer. Mangiapane down to the second line with Olofsson, who we're hoping he can get a little boost going here with Lawton and Mangiapane. Then we do move Karlsson down, and this is the first time he and Arvidsson will be split, but we put Karlsson with Zadina, who's showed a lot of promise so far, and then Foligno, who's kind of going to be the big guy around there and open up some offensive opportunities for Zadina and Karlsson. And then we'll have Cousins and Evans on the back line with Jordan Martinook as a healthy scratch. And on defense, we haven't really touched this too much. Orlov, Barry, Grzelcyk, Ceci, and then Stanley Brown. Kind of just like going top heavy. We're not spreading around the talent too much on our defense. So here we go against the New York Rangers at 10-3-2 among the top teams here to start this season. And we did beat them 1-0 a few games back as Matt Murray posted a shutout. So let's see if he can repeat that. And nope, he'll give up 3 there in the first period. Jimmy Vesey, Adam Fox, Cheadle. And then no goals there in the second period. And they'll add one more as Scott Wedge was there in goal. So I think we might have took Murray out as we fall 4-0 to the Rangers. Both games against the Rangers now ending with a shutout. So let's go to our goalies here. So yeah, it looks like, wow, Murray gave up 3 goals on the first 5 shots, and then Wedgwood came in and only gave up 1 goal in 28. So I think we'll roll with Wedgwood in this next game against Winnipeg and see if he can keep that going. He's been very inconsistent so far to start this season. All right, now on the road against Winnipeg, 1-1 after the first period. Dmitry Orlov with the goal for us. Winnipeg up 2-1 with a Blake Wheeler goal, and then no scoring there in the third period. And I just said I was going to put Wedgwood in, and I didn't even do that. So Murray did have a good performance there. He rebounded quite well, although we couldn't. Only 1 goal here in the past 2 games. We'll throw Wedgwood here in this road game against the Predators. So we start this episode 0-2, outscored 6-1 in those 2 games. Here we go against Nashville with a similar record to us towards the bottom of the league. So we are up 2-1 with a shorthanded goal from Arvidsson and a goal from Josh Brown. Now after the second period, we net 3 goals. I'd love to see that. Olofsson gets a goal on his new line, as well as Karlsson and Mangiapane. And only 1 goal allowed there from Wedgwood as Hartford wins 5-2. A good rebound here to get this episode off on a good note instead of those, rather than those first 2 losses. And there we see Matt Grzelcyk is injured, so I'm going to have to fix that as Jacob Larson will be added into the lineup. All right, and we'll pick it back up here, hosting Seattle, another obviously recent expansion team, another team that formed within the past few years. So hopefully we can win this one between the 2 newest franchises here in the NHL. 1-1 after the first period. Patty Kane, he hasn't scored in a few games, but it's good to see him get back on the goal sheet. And then we surrender 4 goals there as Matt Murray not playing too well in the past few games. We go let up 4, only get 1 there from Jake Evans. And Wedgwood comes in. Hartford almost rallies back. Patrick Kane actually with a hat trick in this game. So our first hat trick here in the series goes to Patty Kane as we almost come back in this game in dramatic fashion. Wedgwood, another great performance there in relief, although we're outshot 39-24. So we start this episode 1-4, not too hot. And now we have to face a very good Tampa Bay team. And I don't even know who to start right now. Wedgwood won our last game that he started. Now Matt Murray has been pulled in like 2 of his last 3 starts. So I think we'll just roll with Murray here, see how he does. If he another poor performance, We don't want to mess with his psyche too much early on here, so we'll give him another shot to redeem himself here against Tampa Bay. And then we take a 2-0 lead after the first period with Foligno and a power play goal from Leo Carlsson. And then Hagel nets one in the second for Tampa Bay. And I'm going to sim this one a little bit. We'll just let this one play out and see how it goes. As Comfer scores early on in the third period to give Hartford a 3-1 lead. Now we go on a power play. Nothing doing on the power play. Okay, Corey Perry there with a late goal, so... Okay, awesome. Leo Carlsson, that was another power play goal, going back and forth here as Hartford now trails by 2 as the game winds down. And great win there. Very good win against a good Tampa Bay team. And I'll just take some look at some stats in this one. So Leo Carlsson with his first multi-goal game of his career as he scores 2 goals in this victory. Patrick Kane with 3 assists. And Kane and Carlsson the only multi-point getters in this one. But hits. 4 from Foligno. But face-offs, but we were improving there. 60% from Scott Lawton and then 50% from Leo Carlsson. You can't be too mad about that. But JT Compher getting absolutely obliterated in the face-off circle. And then 26 saves on 28 shots from Matt Murray. Great win there from the Hartford Whalers as we visit Montreal now. It looks like Matt Grzelcyk is eligible to play in this game, although I'm not going to put him out there if he's not at full strength, and he's not quite yet. So we'll give it one more game and then throw Matt Grzelcyk back out there. And we will keep Matt Murray in goal for this game against Montreal. After this first period, the Canadiens lead 2-1. Goals from Cole Caulfield, Sean Monahan, and Nick Cousins with his first goal as a Hartford Whaler. Second period, we're all square at 3 as Patrick Kane gets another goal, shorthanded from Brendan Gallagher, and then Dmitry Orlov gets a game-tying goal there in the second period. So we're actually going to jump into this one. We'll continue watching this game, and we'll see how we can finish here against Montreal on the road. Here we go to start the third period as JT Compher and Nick Suzuki are out there on the face-off. Compher wins the draw back to Barry. Orlov gives to Patrick Kane, who enters the zone very hot as of late. His quick shot save there. Caulfield now with it. Loose puck ends up on Orlov as Hartford retains possession. Patrick Kane with a quick rip is blockered away there. Now Savard with it for the Canadiens. He'll give back to Caulfield. Caulfield dangles in. He'll get in front, but closed off there by Dmitry Orlov, playing good defense for the Whalers. Orlov still skating with it up ice. Pass across to Tyson Barrie. Has some space in front. He's bodied there. He'll retain possession in front. Back to Kane. Ripper, and that's wide. What a hard shot there from Patty Kane. Goes just wide. Olofsson on the forecheck regains possession. Tyson Barrie to Dmitry Orlov. Mangiapane now onto the ice and retrieves the puck. His pass across is wiped out as he's hit. Now Max Domi up to Caulfield. Caulfield showing some patience as he skates in. So now gets some room in front over to Suzuki. Backhand save. And Max Domi didn't get the rebound. Caulfield a shot in front save from Matt Murray. 2 very good saves there by Matt Murray under duress as Olofsson enters the zone over to Mangiapane. And he's closed off there in the slot. Now Olofsson, quick rip, is saved. Matheson now takes it for Montreal. He passes over to Domi, up to Suzuki, and now Anderson with it. He's closed off there by Logan Stanley. Mangiapane, pass over to Ceci. He's going to dump it in. Fast-paced play here in the third period in a tie game as Josh Anderson now with it. Poor angle there from, I believe that was Foligno, who missed a hit opportunity there. But no worries as Hartford gets possession. Zadina with a dump in. Carlson now. Kirby Doc with it. Kirby Datch Doc. I don't know how to say that one. I know who he is, just don't know how to pronounce the name. Foligno over to Carlson. He's going to enter the zone with steam, but he's closed off there. Good defensive play. And then Carlson's going to go to the sin bin as he commits a penalty there. Maybe elbowing. That's going to be tripping. So Hartford's going to go on the penalty kill here in a tie game in the third period. Oh, yeah, blatant trip. I missed that. Let's look at the goal leaders here in the NHL. Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point, teammates, leading the way. Kucherov, 6 more than Point, though, with 19 goals here. Almost a point per game, or a goal per game to start this season. Now loose puck squandered by Montreal's former Canadian. Jake Evans picks it up into the zone. Shot pad save there by Montreal. I'm not sure who's in net for them. Evans intercepts at center ice. He'll give to Patrick, who enters his zone almost with a nice toe drag there to get by the defender, but it's closed off. Big hit there from Nolan Patrick, really asserting himself on this power penalty kill, but he'll go to the sin bin for slashing. So we'll go down 5-3 now. Let's see if we could hold. Not what you want in a tie game on away ice. Definitely a slash there, but no need for that. Why did it update Scott Lawton penalty minutes? Didn't just Patrick get the penalty? Maybe Scott Lawton got a penalty earlier, and that's why it's updating like that. Anyway, Hartford wins the defensive zone face-off. Orlov picks it up. He'll give to Confer as he's hit, and the puck remains in the zone for Guryanov. In front, save Matt Murray with 46 seconds left here on this 5-on-3 for Montreal. Max Domi on the face-off against JT Confer, who did not do well at all in our last game in the face-off circle. And he loses one right there to Domi. Guryanov now into the zone. Intercepted there. Clutch defensive play from Cece. His clear attempt does not go as Montreal enters the zone. Wow, nice one-timer there in front, but saved by Matt Murray. Now Cece with it. His clear is good, and it'll go back into Montreal's zone. Picked up. With 5 seconds down this 5-on-3. Max Domi entering the zone. He tries to dangle through the defender, but to no avail. Now clear goes up to center ice. Mangiapane picks it up as he'll enter the zone and dump it in. 30 seconds left on this penalty kill. Guryanov, his pass up ice goes wide through traffic. Stanley gets the clear in. Picked up by Guryanov. 10 seconds on the penalty kill. Nice play there by Cody Cece as Mangiapane picks up the loose puck. His clear attempt goes up the boards and right to Nolan Patrick, who's pickpocketed there with 10 minutes left here in this third period after a great penalty kill there from Hartford. Multiple penalty kills there from Hartford. Back at even strength now as time winds down in the third period. Victor Olofsson with it entering the zone. In front, Scott Lawton scores! Hartford takes a late 4-3 lead. Scott Lawton with his 4th goal of the season. And that was a great feed. Great feed there from Victor Olofsson. And a great finish from Scott Lawton. Nice wrist. Top shelf, blocker side. And that was buried as the Hartford Whalers take a late lead. And Montreal is going to call a timely timeout and talk things over. So we still see Patrick Kane now pulling away as our points leader as Scott Lawton gets his 4th point of the season. His 8th point of the season, 4th goal. Weidman enters the zone for Montreal as they'll look to tie it back up. Shot goes wide there in front. Weidman back with it to Domi. Poked away. Suzuki shot, save, Matt Murray. Try to give it back to Brown. It goes wide. Lawton picks it up. He'll pass back over to Jacob Larson, who's in the lineup for Matt Grzelcyk. And a delayed penalty here on Montreal's. Andrew Mangiapane breaks free, and he's going to score. On the delayed penalty, Mangiapane gets a nice chance in front, and he'll finish as Hartford now jumps up by 2 goals, with 2 goals just a matter of minutes apart. And Montreal fans are not happy about this one. And the club, they're happy for Mangiapane, who's one of the leaders on this team. And it gets just past the goalie there. Still not sure who that is. Still can't see the name there. And Scott Lawton now with an assist right after he scores the go-ahead goal. So he may be in line for the first star here. Compher loses another draw as Weidman back with it. Enters the zone for Montreal, who has some catch-up to do. His shot in front, rebound, handled by Josh Brown, who gives it to Kane. Kane over to Arvidsson. And he's closed off there by Weidman. Picked back up by Kane to JT Compher. Compher to Larson. Jacob Larson shot. Save, and then rebound for Patrick Kane. Saved as well. Patrick Kane had a nice opportunity there in front. Now Christian Dvorak to Cole Caulfield. He'll enter the zone. Loses possession. Jacob Larson. Now Patrick Kane. He maneuvers and dances around a little bit. Gives back to Victor Arvidsson. He moves past a man. Skates it into the zone. Moves past another man. Centering pass. Patrick Kane to JT Compher. Save. Good puck movement there in transition for Hartford. Victor Arvidsson now back to Orlov. Tyson Barrie from the point. Save. Victor Arvidsson behind the net. Tyson Barrie now with it. Gives to Orlov in front. And he can't get a clean shot off there. Victor Arvidsson fighting for it. That's Antti-Ranta, right? Is that his name? In net for Montreal. So he must have signed with them in the offseason as well. So Montreal finds himself with a new goaltender. Orlov off the draw now. Anderson picks up the interception as he skates it in for Montreal. Centering pass closed off by Orlov. And Montreal had a clear net there as Dvorak couldn't put it home with good defense there from Orlov. Mangiapane pickpockets Matheson at the blue line. Across the center ice, he'll dump it in as oh no, and it's going to go out. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought he cleared it out of bounds. So we'll get another power play here with just 3 minutes left in this game. So I think it's safe to say we're going to close this one out with a victory as we spoil the home crowd here in Montreal. We spoil their hopes of a win for the Canadians. Oh, wow. He elbowed him right in the face. That should be a double minor, I feel like. But what are you going to do? I wish we saw a fight. We still haven't seen a fight in any of these live look-ins. As Montreal wins the face-off there. Edmondson will kick it up the boards. Goes right to Arvidsson. Gives to Kane. Now Carlson in front. His shot saved. Picked up by Foligno. Back to Arvidsson. Ripper. And Victor Arvidsson with a snipe. And Hartford takes a 3-goal lead. Three goals in quick succession here for Hartford as they score on the power play. That was a great shot there from Victor Arvidsson. Just beats the glove of Antti-Ranta. Offensive explosion here late for the Hartford Whalers. And this is the most goals we've scored in a game so far this season. Now just over 2 minutes left as Montreal kind of lifeless, although Dvorak with a shot there. Pad save Matt Murray. Josh Anderson right in front. In front for Dvorak, and another save there by Murray. Nice hit along the boards there by Arvidsson. Savard in the slot. He'll lose possession. A split Matt Murray will regain possession as Montreal misses an opportunity there, and they know it. They do have full pressure here with 1:20 left in this game. Sean Monahan, nice win there. Now Savard with it in the slot. Glove save Matt Murray. 65 ticks left at 1:05 remaining in this hockey game. Sean Monahan, Donato, and Brendan Gallagher out there on the third line for Montreal. We did win the face-off fight here. Our 39th win to 29 against Montreal. Did they just get another penalty? I think they just got a slash penalty. Jeez Louise. The penalty is sometimes such a huge buzzkill, even though it's worked in our benefit the past couple of games. So Sean Monahan will go to the box as this game drags on. With 1 minute remaining. So he'll only have to serve half of that. As he slashes the hand there of Cody Ceci. As Hartford heads to another power play after Victor Arvidsson records a power play goal just a few minutes back. Savard keeps possession as he'll take it up ice on the shorthanded attempt here from Montreal. overtaken by Mangiapane, who hits Carlson. Carlson gives to Kane, back to Carlson, and he's going to take it up. He'll pass to Foligno. Foligno loses possession and goes to Carlson. Now Tyson Barrie, and he had a nice shot pass there for Foligno in front, but it doesn't go. Foligno in front, back to Mangiapane, over to Kane. He gets a light shot off, and it's blocked as the last couple seconds run down here. And the Hartford Whalers win 6-3 with an offensive explosion in the third period with 3 goals. Great finish here from the Whalers, and Matt Murray is kind of getting back on track now in these last couple games after previous pretty bad streak, as we see goals from Mangiapane, Lawton, and Victor Arvidsson. That goal from Victor Arvidsson was a rip. And some good saves down the stretch there from Matt Murray to keep the Canadians out of striking distance, as Hartford pulls away with a 6-3 win here in Montreal. So now we'll pick it back up here at home as we host the Los Angeles Kings. And we're just going to keep Matt Murray in goal. Coming off back-to-back wins, we'll keep him in goal here at home against the Kings, as we reinserted Matt Grzelcyk into the lineup. So after the first period, LA goes up 2-0. No scoring there in the second period, as we have 25 shots on goal. And we get shut out in this game. 32 shots on goal, and nothing to show for it. Who's in net here for Rittich? Wow, Rittich with a 32 save shutout against us, as Anze Kopitar with 2 assists. So we fall to 3-4 in this episode so far with 3 games remaining, and we will throw Wedgwood in here against Edmonton. I can only imagine Connor McDavid is probably very happy about that news, although it doesn't really matter who's in net against McDavid. He's probably going to score. All right, so let's throw Wedgwood in there, give Matt Murray a night off. All right, let's see how we fare here against a high-octane Edmonton team who comes into the game with an identical record as us. So they've kind of been on a level playing field as us to start this season, as we'll send this first period, which ends up with a Hartford lead as Matt Grzelcyk scores a late goal to put Whalers up 1-0. Now after the second period, Edmonton goes up 2-1 with goals from Draisaitl and Nurse, as Patrick will knot it up late in the period. All right, and let's I'll just let this play out a little bit here and see how we fare down the stretch against the Oilers. Go up to 8 speed now. Less than 15 minutes left in this third period. Tie game. Now more than halfway through the period. Time trickling down. Less than 5 minutes left of regulation. Still a tie game. And the clock is going to run, so now we will go to overtime. So I'll just play that here as well. I don't think we've gotten an overtime winner yet. We won in a shootout in our first win, and now here we win in overtime. Dmitry Orlov beats Jack Campbell as the Whalers defeat the Edmonton Oilers 3-2 for their first overtime victory of the series. So we're split so far in this episode at 4-4 with another game here against Tampa Bay. And I think... So yeah, Wedgwood just got the win in that one. We'll throw Matt Murray. I don't know, because we do have a back-to-back. Should we play Murray both of these games here against Tampa Bay? Yeah, we'll play Murray against Tampa Bay and then throw Wedgwood back out there against Carolina. Wedgwood played very well against Carolina a couple episodes ago, so we'll give him another shot because we did lose the game Matt Murray started against Carolina. So Murray just beat Tampa Bay, and he'll go for another win against the Lightning here, as they've only won 2 of their last 10 games. And we take a 2-1 lead as Hagel scores another goal against us, but we're up 2-1 with goals from Zadina and Scott Lawton on Brian Elliott, still in the league. And now we double up again with 2 goals here from Dmitry Orlov, last game's overtime hero, and Logan Stanley as well. So we'll try to hold this 2-goal lead in the third period, which we do, and we double up again with goals from Jake Evans and JT Compher on the empty netters. So we beat the Lightning twice in these last 2 meetings, and they're just falling apart here after a pretty good start. And now they've only won 2 of their last 10 games. And you see just an AHL penalty. So at least we're over 500 in this episode. We're 5-4 right now, clawing our way back to 500 hockey at 11, 12, and 2. And here we're gonna put Wedgwood in for this last game of this episode. But don't worry, after this game, we're gonna take a look around, check out some stats and some standings, and see what's kind of standing out so far in this NHL season. All right, I just actually want to check another thing. Should we throw Martinic back out here against the Hurricanes? He did have a very good game against the Hurricanes. Let's see how Cousins is doing. And Cousins really isn't offering much right now, so we will scratch Cousins after having him in the lineup for the past few games. And we'll just replace him with Martinic on that third line as he gets back out there against the Hurricanes. And with Wedgwood in goal, so worst case, we're 500 for the episode. Let's see if we can even it up at 12 wins and 12 regulation losses, as we're not too far behind the Hurricanes right now in the Metro. So 2 goals there in the first period, as Zadina with another one. I want to say he scored in the past 3 games, and Arvidsson on the board as well, with Kochetkov back in net for the Hurricanes. And we'll go even here 2-2 in the second period, as we go up 4-2 with goals from Mangiapane and Lawton after the Hurricanes knotted it up at 2 with goals 9 seconds apart early in the period. So up 4-2, we'll send this third period, and we get 2 more. Another one from Mangiapane, and Leo Carlsson gets on the board as well. As we'll close this episode with 6 wins in 10 games, as we're moving up the standings a little bit. I mean, it's very tight right now in the Metro. Islanders are rocking it right now with 39 points, but then after that, second place Penguins with 29 points, and we're only 3 points behind them, so very congested right now in the Metro, and it's looking interesting with this strong start by the Whalers, and they've really rebounded after some rough games, and I like what I'm seeing so far from this team with 3 straight wins. Actually, it might have been more than 3 straight wins. No, so we get 3 straight wins here to close this episode, winning 5 of our last 6. So it looks like we're getting hot, folks. Hopefully we can keep this heat going as we start here in December. Just looking ahead, we're gonna have at Minnesota next in a back-to-back, and then we host Toronto. So we'll definitely be viewing one of these games soon. I haven't planned that far ahead yet. I'm not sure how much what the pace is going to be moving forward. I don't know if we're going to stay at this pace. I don't know if we're going to watch as many games moving forward. I don't know if we're just going to try and sim through here real quick. Any feedback, whatever you viewers want, I'm definitely willing to accommodate. So I definitely like watching this team, but it's also fun having these episodes where we just sim a bunch of games and kind of get some more progress on the season. So as promised, let's look at some stats. We see Patrick Kane, our team leader in points, with 25. And then Mangiapane not too far behind him with 22. And then Arvidsson, 18. Zadina, Carlson with 15. So Leo Carlsson, very strong start for the rookie. 15 points through 26 games and a +6 rating, which leads the team, tied with Josh Brown, which is surprising because Brown's plus-minus in the preseason was abysmal. Mangiapane leader in assists with 15. Of course, Patty Kane with 12 goals leading the team. See, Matt Grzelcyk, his plus-minus has been so rough this season. Preseason, regular season, I'm not really sure what the cause of that is. We've had him with multiple guys and multiple lines, so we'll still try to make it work there for Matt Grzelcyk. Barry's not doing too hot. Foligno's not doing too hot. Evans. So, yeah, those back lines for us not really providing much in terms of plus-minus. And JT Compher been playing out on that top line. His plus-minus isn't getting any better either. So, I mean, plus-minus obviously isn't the end-all, be-all, end-all for hockey players, but it's definitely a good way to kind of measure how your lines are faring during even strength especially. So Zadina with 3 power play goals leads the team, followed by Leo Carlsson. Do we have any shorties? We do, I believe. Victor Arvidsson with our only shorthanded goal. And I believe we witnessed that one in one of the first episodes. Face-off percentage, Zadina 13 out of 17 as a winger. And then Lawton there at 57.4%. Far and away our best centerman. And then you see Comfort down there at 48%. So really our only regular centerman at Lawton is well above 50%, but everyone besides him below 50%. Leading in hits is Lawton with 56, Comfort, Mangiapane following with Foligno there as well. Block shots. I had a feeling Nolan Patrick was going to be up here. I feel like I've seen him block a ton of shots, but he only has 5 block shots on the season. I might have witnessed them all. I don't think he has any block shots in games we haven't watched. So CC and Orlov leading the way in block shots. Marcus Foligno with 5 fights so far on the season, although we haven't witnessed any. And then Josh Brown with 1 fight of his own as well. So what about goalies? Murray 8-10-1 with 2 shutouts, save percentage just over 900, and Wedgwood an even better goals against than Matt Murray and an even 4-4-1 record-wise. All right, let's get a first look really at the Poughkeepsie Panthers and take a look who's killing it down there. So Alexander Nylander, who's battling for a roster spot in the regular season, he is leading our AHL team with 21 points, followed by Jacob Perreault, who leads in goals with 11. And there's Connor McMichael, who he's on the cusp of making this roster, playing good two-way hockey down there for the Poughkeepsie Panthers. But if we might end up getting rid of Nick Cousins up there, and that'll open up a roster spot for McMichael. So who else is up here in goals? Nylander, McMichael, Ali Leixell. Nylander leading in assists. Plus minus goes to Samuel Bolduc, and he's at a 72 overall right now. Plus 13 with 10 points through 26 games. So a good start there for Samuel Bolduc, who is a defenseman we're developing. Hopefully he can make the squad maybe next year, worst case a couple years from now. A few power play goals for this team. I'm more interested in the defensive categories here in the AHL for now. McMichael doing solid on the face-off circle. Mackenzie Entwistle, there we go. He was another guy who was battling for a roster spot, and he leads the way with 73 hits, playing a very physical brand of hockey down there for Poughkeepsie. I'm going to go for block shots. Tyler Tucker, he's another guy on the cusp of kind of breaking through to this roster. Logan Stanley's a 79 overall, and he's currently been starting every game, and Tucker is a 78 overall, having a decent time there in the AHL, and he looked good in the preseason as well. A couple fights to his credit as well down here in the AHL, with Will Coyle adding a fight of his own. Now look at the goalies. Silovs, 8-6-2. He's playing very well. And Daniil Tarasov, he's injured right now, but he's playing even better with phenomenal numbers and a sub-2 goals against average. So our Poughkeepsie Panthers looking pretty good so far throughout the season at 15-8-3. And we'll go to some team stats here now. So that's for the Metro, Islanders, Penguins, Devils. And like I said, Penguins at 29 points. And then the next 7 teams in the division within 3 points, as you see the Philadelphia Flyers there with only 18 points through 24 games. But we have a huge battle going on here in the Metro Division with the Islanders kind of pulling away up top. But it's fair game there in the middle. And now 26 games through the season here for the Hartford Whalers. And, we're right in the mix. And I think we're only going to get better. So I think we are going to start looking at some trades here down in the next couple weeks or so to especially strengthen our defensive unit and maybe get a dynamic skill player for maybe the second line there. And you look at points for, and we're only getting a point every other game. Goals for in the division, we're towards the bottom. Goals against, almost the most goals against given up. We'll just go league wide now and take a look at all the teams and see how we all stack up. So, leading in points this season, the Islanders up top, leading the league with 39 points at 19-4-1, followed by Boston, Toronto, and then Ottawa, Pittsburgh, Florida, and Washington. So the East kind of dominating here, it seems. Although there are a bunch of teams kind of bunched up there at the high 20s. So Colorado leading the way here in the West early on, with New York Islanders leading the way in the East. All right, let's take a look at I'm going to try and cut this episode a little shorter because I have a bird now chirping outside. I don't know if you could hear that. Good morning. Power play percentage leader goes to Islanders, Tampa Bay, Ducks, Wild, Kraken, rounding out the top 5 in power play percentage. And it looks like we're probably going to be in the middle of the pack here. Yeah, about at the middle of the pack at 17.7%. Respectable. What about our penalty kill? And it looks like we'll be about more sort of towards the bottom in penalty kill percentage, but making our way towards about medium range here. And look at that, 3-8-1 at home. Our home fans are not having a good time, but away from home we're 9-4-1. So among the best road records in the NHL here so far. And then now looking at league stats, see who's kind of leading the league in these categories. And then we'll take a look at transactions, see if anything like that has occurred. And then we'll call it a day. So Nikita Kucherov leading the way with 40 points through 25 games. Almost a goal and an assist almost respectively per game. 20 each in 25 games played. So Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point playing very, very good hockey, obviously, to start this season, with Matthew Barzal leading the way there for New York Islanders. And he might be an early MVP candidate here. Johnny Gaudreau doing a lot better here in this sim than he's doing in real life there for the Blue Jackets. As Horvat's up there with his teammate Barzal. Connor McDavid, of course, and Nathan McKinnon are going to be up there with Kaprizov, Mitch Marner. So definitely got some star power here at the top. Another Tampa Bay Lightning there and Steven Stamkos. It looks like John Carlson is the leading point getter right now among defensemen. Tim Stützle, Kent Johnson, and then we go Patty Kane with 25 points, our team leader in points. What about goals? Kucherov still leading the way in goals, followed by Ovechkin, Svechnikov, Gaudreau, McDavid, Tage Thompson's up there as well, and Kuzmenko there for Vancouver. League leader in assists is John Carlson. And then we see Cale Makar down here as well with 22 points through 24 games for the Avalanche. Leader in plus minus there. A few Senators players there at plus 16. They've had a nice surprising start to the season thus far as well. Who's going to be the leader in power play goals so far? 7 power play goals for Kucherov. I think we should have called that one. What about shorthanded goals? Anyone with multiple shorthanded goals? McDavid, 2 shorthanded goals already in this season. All these guys have minimal face-off attempts. So there, look at that, 165. Derek Ryan with 63% on face-offs. But among active centermen, of course, Barkov leads the way in face-off percentage. There about hits, 60 hits for Connor Brown. Sandin, I'm surprised he's up there as well. Yanni Gord, Scott Lawton, among the league leader in hits. Block shots goes to Dante Fabro. Moritz Seider, what a stud he's going to be there for Detroit. And Jamie Drysdale, current Flyer in real life, stays on Anaheim in this sim. There's a little fight. Moving on down. Fights. Nick Delorier, of course. 8 fights there for Nick Delorier. And wouldn't you love to see Delorier and Marcus Foligno get it going on? It'd be a pretty entertaining fight. I guess we'll move on now to goalies. And Ilya Sorokin, 15-2-1. Ilya Samsonov, 13-5-3. Georgiev playing very well for Colorado. Vanacek, Linus Ullmark there in Boston. Bobrovsky. What shutouts? Anyone else? So Sorokin has 2 shutouts. Forsberg there having a great start to the season here for Ottawa. Former 7th round pick. Look at him. 9-4-3, 9.28 save percentage, 2.24 goals against, and he has doubled his previous career total. Entered the season with 3 career shutouts, and now matches that just 16 games in. So the 31-year-old having a career year so far, and a very cheap deal there for Ottawa. Clearly outplaying expectations there, as we see Matt Murray joins Igor Shesterkin, Sorokin, and Saros, all with 2 shutouts. And just some of the save percentage leaders. Jeremy Swayman, 6-0-1 there for Boston. as it looks like he and Olmark are splitting duties, but Olmark getting most of the duties there in Boston. Both goalies playing very good hockey. Maybe Swayman's a potential trade candidate, because how long do they have Olmark signed for? I only have him for another year after this year, so maybe that wouldn't make the most sense for Boston. Although if Swayman's not happy there in a backup role, maybe he's someone Boston wouldn't mind getting rid of. But I don't know how realistic that seems. But definitely not a bad thought. I think we're going to have to go after a goaltender, because the free agency class coming up is very, very bad. There's no one that would be an upgrade over Matt Murray. So if we want to upgrade the goaltending position, our best bet would probably be through a trade, which maybe will even happen this season. I'm definitely going to look into some trades, because this team, we're competing at a high level so far. A little bit up and down, but we're putting it together when we need to. As I'll just scroll through the draft class here to give you an idea of what we're going to be working with, potentially with a lottery pick. So you never know, we could end up with the number 1 pick. So I'll just scroll down these names here as I close this episode. And thank you for watching. I know this was kind of different than what we usually do. We didn't really see much gameplay in this one. Really just we closed that game against Montreal, where we saw nice 3 goals there to finish strong. And then we finished the sim at 6-4 in this episode, as we work our way to 500 hockey now. And now we're going to look to propel ourselves up the Metro in what's going to be a very, very tight race here throughout the season. So I'm interested to see what happens. This team is so far so good, and I really look forward to what is going to become of this Hartford Whalers team. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Sing our praises there in the comments. Tell us that we're doing a good job during this episode with the Hartford Whalers. So as always, everybody, it's been real, and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.